All right, joining me now on Inside the Tournament, GM, coach. Maybe one day he'll suit up and play the Jackie Moon of TBT for the Aftershocks. Zach Bush, welcome back to the show.
Dude, that's a heck of an intro. I would be honored to be a Jackie Moon. I don't know if the guys would ever let me suit up. I think my glory days are behind me, but appreciate that.
Do you know that our most viral clip from last year was you shot faking when the ball came to you?
It just was natural, like I'm used to guys running at me in that corner from practicing in that arena and it just naturally happened. I thought I might get one up this year. I don't know.
I couldn't believe how crazy numbers that posted, but when we're able to collab with Aftershocks and your account and Go Shockers, the algorithm picks up on that pretty quickly. But on the basketball side of things, down year last year for the Aftershocks, if for none other reason than this, only got to play 2 games in front of the incredible fans in Wichita. How quickly after the loss last year did you look at the guys and say, it's just another year, we're running it back?
Yeah, I think I obviously immediately wanted to do it. And like I've said it before, my reasons are selfish. I love getting to be around my former teammates, love getting to be back in that environment. You typically don't get that. And anybody who's played TBT will, attest to what a special feeling it is being back in your college environment with fans. So for me, I'm like, if you guys are ready to go, I'm ready to go. But a good chunk of them, we didn't try to rush it or push it, but I think there was a strong sense that you never want to go out like that. Whenever it is we are done, you want to be done when you've felt like you gave it your best effort, and that was the earliest we'd lost since the very first year we'd played in it back in, gosh, I can't even remember now, like 2019, I think. So we definitely pretty quickly, I think, all wanted another crack at it.
The team is getting a little older. What is the plan to bring in reinforcements? Are you recruiting? Are you letting the players talk to, the younger guys that maybe they know? Or is it a stressful time over there in Wichita as you prep for 25?
Yeah, I wouldn't say stressful, but we're certainly in a different position. And like I just referenced, 2019 when this all started, we were in this really cool spot where we have this huge stable of guys who, were still playing that were from kind of the earlier Greg Marshall days to then guys who were literally just graduated, like Connor Frankamp, Rashard Kelly, Marcus, Daryl Willis, all this stuff. And then you had the older guys like Teray Murray who had NBA experience and some of those guys have now retired and are getting a little bit older. Our guys are now entering kind of the middle phase of their careers. So it's an interesting spot. Now, I think it's time, we'd like to get some fresh blood if we can and rejuvenate both the team and the excitement for the fans. So, I won't throw any names out yet just because I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's certainly guys we're trying to recruit and some younger guys we'd love to bring in because I think they bring both a different look to the team than what we've had and also bring a new feel for the fans, which is always exciting.
Another thing that's exciting for the fans is for the first time in TBT history, teams can have home court advantage all the way through the championship. And for the diehards out there, because a lot of our listeners are Aftershocks fans, for the diehards out there, in years past, it could get to the quarterfinals and you could host that, which you all were in 2 years ago. That was a home quarterfinal, but actually the whole regional was there, so that was a little different. And then Dayton got to host a semifinal because the tournament was in Dayton, so that was just how it worked out. But this is you win, you keep playing at home unless you match up with a team who sold more tickets than you or got to 4,000 first when tickets go on sale May 6th. For the Aftershocks, that should put you, based on history, in the top two, three, if not number one. How exciting is that for you? And it's a long way away, but how exciting is that for you and the fans to think, wow, we could host all the way to a TBT championship at Charles Koch Arena?
It's huge. I think any team that's played in this that has a really good home court advantage, like the Dayton teams, like we saw with Kentucky and Louisville, that it's just easier to play at home in front of your own fans. And then for our guys playing in a familiar environment, not having to travel a second time because they've already got to fly into Wichita and to not have to go anywhere else. And then we pride ourselves as being one of if not the best fan base in TBT. So the chance to get to host it all the way through is, what we've been asking for. We've battled and tried to, put up a fight to get to host the whole thing, and we certainly understand, there's challenges with doing that, but to be able to continue to host as we win, I think is a game changer for us. I think our guys are going to be super excited about that. I'm not even sure all of them are aware of it at this point, but that's something big that presents, I think, a huge benefit for us to have that crowd rocking every single game and being in front of them. Like you said, we've gotten to a quarterfinal game, and they were a huge part of winning that quarterfinal game. And then we've played in a semifinal game out in Dayton, and it's just different. When you go from home on the road, it's no secret we play a little bit better when we're in Coke Arena. So we were really hoping our fans just do numbers on ticket sales when those tickets do go up. And we want to host the whole thing, baby. We want to get to that championship game.
So I want to ask you this now because you're a basketball guy, you're knowledgeable about the sport, obviously. What is your Wichita State AFTERSHOCKS Luca equivalent trade? Who is the guy in TBT that's like, you hear he's available, you go get him no matter what? And obviously, there's no trades in TBT, but theoretically, and I'm asking you this because we're going to have a little bit of fun here. Who's that guy you're going and grabbing no matter what? Fran Camp's on the trading block if this guy's available.
I see. I'm loyal to my guys. I can't throw any of my guys on the trading block. I can't trade Connor Frankamp. I can't trade Marcus McDuffie. If in some perfect world, I'll just give you the guys who would be at the top of the list to want to acquire. I think John Elmore is right up there at the peak of it. Dude's just a stud. He put my Shocks out the year after I graduated. Shocks got a 4 seed. Unfortunately, met them out in San Diego, and he had a hell of a game. So he's up there high on the list. But I don't know. Now it's changing. Some of the older TBT guys have, kind of stepped away, and it's new, fresher blood. So that's a tough question. But he's the one that initially comes to mind. Just his game, I think, just matches TBT so well. The way he plays with the ball in his hands, he can play off the ball. Incredible passer, range is unlimited. So he's probably the one that immediately I say he's like the Luca that I'd want.
That's a very funny and similar comp, honestly. John kind of is like the Luca of TBT, but I'd
Don't
go
think
with
we
a
have to worry about John's weight like we do with Luca. John seems like he's keeping it tight. He's healthy and in shape, so I don't have to worry about the things you have to worry about with Luca.
they must not have good satellite TV reception in Wichita because I would have gone with, Eric Bledsoe, Willie Cauley Stein, Montrez Harrell, Jared Sullinger. You missed a.
Those are great guys and those are great options, but you got to remember, like my Wichita State teams, like we lost to a Kentucky team, in the NCAA tournament when I was there, so I can't go with a Willie, even though Willie's a Kansas kid. So, Willie, if you want to come on home, back to Kansas, we'd love to have you. We're not going to say no to that. But then same thing, Louisville's who we lost to my freshman year in the Final Four. So there's a lot of loyalty with Wichita State, if you can't tell.
Well, I love it. I wish that there was a world where we could have a TBT All-Star game and we could see, Fran Camp hitting threes or throwing lobs to Willie Cauley Stein because that would be cool. Maybe one day as TBT continues to grow. Before I get you out of here, do you have a final message to the fans on why they need to do what they always do and pack out the arena? But, to make sure if you guys are playing in a TBT championship, playing for the 1 million, it's in Wichita.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been everything, you fans, with our TBT runs. I think you have a direct impact. You have before, but now maybe more so than ever. You have a direct way you can impact this tournament. And we've seen fans on social media every year saying, respect to the other host sites. They get to host, whether it's in Philly or whether it's in Dayton. Like those are great, but we want our opportunity to show why this is such a great fan base that appreciates not only college basketball, but our alumni. And so go buy those tickets, baby. Like we want to play in front of you. You have the opportunity to keep us in front of you the whole way. So let's knock this thing out and let's show them why the Aftershocks have the best home court advantage in TBT.
Well, there you go. I'm fired up. I'm going to buy some tickets on May 6th to help out the Aftershocks. Obviously, I'm kidding. If there's a region that doesn't need any help, it's Wichita. We're excited about this. We'll leave this for down the road, but with Kansas City hosting a regional, and we don't know the bracket matchups yet. We could see K-State alumni or Kansas alumni come into town, or if you guys don't sell tickets, you head into Kansas City. Either way, we could have a pretty cool in-state rivalry later on in TBT. Would be exciting to see.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man.